Hello, welcome to Scott's Odyssey. Today's journey takes us deeper into the Trough Creek State Park's history. Along the Great Trough Creek, we find a furnace that has brought about the demise of all this territory and the boom of state conservationism parks that offers more than just simple picnic tables and pretty trees. Welcome to the Paradise Furnace. See you in a minute. Welcome back. As stated in the previous episode, the very first settler of this area, Nicholas Crum, built a grain grist mill in 1785. In 1818, Reuben Trexler and his father-in-law, Jacob Lesher, both ironmasters, built the Trough Creek Furnace. The Trough Creek Furnace was an extremely primitive and crude furnace made with local field stones stacked on top of each other, with no mortar and no form of anything to keep the stones in place, with the exception of a few strategically placed iron bars to hold it all together. Regardless of the poor quality of the furnace, their furnace produced 100 pounds of pig iron per day, so much more than Noblo that at one point they were consuming an acre a day of trees to produce the requirement for charcoal. Unlike many furnaces built at the bottom of a hill, this furnace was actually built on a plain and had a charging ramp built on the backside for fueling the furnace. Because of the lack of water flow along this portion of the Great Trough Creek, it's assumed that the blasting mechanism for this site was most likely a manual bellows-driven system. In 1832, a Philadelphian named John Savage leased the furnace and renamed it the Mary Ann Furnace. That same year, Savage built the Savage Forge just a mile downstream of the furnace in order to turn the pig iron into wrought iron bars. This was historically the first ever forge to be successfully fired by coke as a fuel. Coke is a gray, hard, and porous fuel with a high carbon content and very few impurities. The term typically refers to a product that is derived from low ash and low sulfur
bituminous
coal through a process called coking. Around that same time, a two-story ironmaster's house was built. Savage's forge only operated for a month due to the costliness of obtaining coke for purifying the pig iron. The Mary Ann Furnace continued to produce pig iron until the late 1850s, when it shut down due to economic downturn of the locally sourced iron. In 1865, due to the need of iron for the American Civil War, Reuben Trexler's son, Horatio Trexler, renamed the furnace to Paradise Furnace and put it back into blast. Due to another economic downturn, the Paradise Furnace shut down its blast permanently in 1869. The Paradise Furnace sits about 20 feet in height, and much of it has become dilapidated and fallen down. As with all furnace sites, a short walk up a trail from this furnace and you will find Paradise Cemetery. It's not known if the cemetery is that of furnace workers or former pioneering settlers. The reason for this lack of information is due mainly to there being nothing more than field stones marking graves of interments as opposed to actual headstones. Visible names on headstones include multiple people from the Crum family as well as the Hess and Zimmerman families, all from the mid-1800s. And two other stones, the oldest ones with writing, are Baker from 1752 and what appears to be an Indian burial in 1805 on the very edge of the cemetery. There are rumors of a haunting that takes place in this area when the sun goes down, that of a Native American whom is interned at the corner of the cemetery. Not much is known about this Indian or why he's here. Based on the headstone, we know he was interned in 1805 and that two sets of initials, MA and MK, are on the stone. We can also see that between the MA and MK is a heart. The stone itself appears to be in the shape of a foot. And from all other visits to this site, apparently nobody ever looked at the back of the headstone. On the back of the headstone, we see a man with a headdress of feathers and a tunic-style robe with one hand over his heart, and in his other hand, what appears to be a book. Unlike the other headstones and markers typically made of white or yellow sandstone and sometimes slate, this headstone is made of red sandstone. This headstone has also been broken several times and someone put it back together with a similar color glue. The Ironmaster's house is another point of interest. Unlike many of the other Ironmaster's houses, this one was rather modest, being made of softer sandstone, and the outside is covered with stucco that's scribed to look like brick. This building is now called the Trough Creek Lodge and is available for rental. But I caution visitors. According to 1 out of every 3 reviews, this house, although raved about for its beauty and cleanliness, is claimed to be very haunted. That concludes the 3-part episode for the Trough Creek State Park. I truly hope you like this adventure. Do me a favor and subscribe. Share me with your friends. Share me with everybody that you know. Most importantly, leave comments below. Interact with me. Tell me what you liked. Tell me what you didn't like. I'll see you on the next adventure.